Hey yo, what's good everybody? Thank you for joining the Chop Shop for your ultimate basketball experience. I am your boy Space Ghost, and we're going to be discussing the top priority for the Rockets moving into the offseason or maybe even sooner, and that is Stephen Silas' job security. Now, we done compiled a coaching list of the top 8 most qualified coaches that the Houston Rockets possibly can add to their coaching staff or head coaching position moving forward. All right, now before we get started, let me make something very clear. This is not a list of judging off of emotions or who we want as far as personal favorites. This is going by resume and compiled record of coaches that the Houston Rockets can probably just outright snatch without jumping through hoops or jumping through any type of red tape to get them. These guys are ready and available and can come and coach right now. All right, Rockets fans, to kick it off the list at number 8, we got Coach John Lucas, a familiar face around here in the Rockets organization. Coach John Lucas compiled a record of 173 wins to 258 losses in his head coaching career with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the San Antonio Spurs. He began coaching during the 1992 season and last coached during the 2002 campaign. Now, Coach Lucas' philosophy is known for defense and is man-heavy with a zone hybrid. His offense philosophy is a 1-in, 4-out system that became prominent when he was a coach for the San Antonio Spurs with legendary big man David Robinson. He had his most successful career. One thing about Coach Lucas, he's a in-your-face type coach. He don't let nothing slide, and he will hold guys accountable. So, viable option for the Rockets if they was really looking to replace Coach Silas. One drawback I have about Coach Lucas is his age, and will he be around to see this rebuild all the way through? Now we got to kick it over to Coach Lionel Hollins. Coach Lionel Hollins is presently the defensive coordinator for the Houston Rockets. He's a viable option. He does have qualifications to be a head coach. If we look right here, for Memphis, the Brooklyn Nets, and the Vancouver Grizzlies, he compiled a record of 262 wins to 272 losses. And in the playoffs, he's 20-21 with 9 years experience. He's a hard-nosed coach that's known, like I said, for his gritty defenses, and he don't take no slack either. But the same philosophy as Coach John Lucas, they're from the same era. Coach Hollins' defense is heavy on the man, zone hybrid, and switchable at times, if he got the right players to do so. His offense is 1-in, 4-out system as well. So they're almost a clone of each other. They come from the same era. Believe me, he's going to probably be on the cheaper end of things, so for Tillman, he will be a viable option. The next guy we got up is Coach Brian Shaw. Coach Brian Shaw coached for the Denver Nuggets for 2 seasons. He compiled a record of 56-85. He had 8 years experience as coach or assistant coach right under the Lakers and Rudy Tomjanovich when he was first got his real big break when Rudy actually replaced Phil Jackson. Now, if we're looking at Coach Brian Shaw's philosophy, his defense is on-ball pressure, and he likes to switch. His offense is the triangle, and then, like I said before, his coaching tree is Rudy Tomjanovich. He was known as a bright star back in the day, but I think the failures of being with the Lakers organization and the Denver kind of soured on him. So I'm looking maybe he will be a viable option soon for a team to take a stab at, and maybe the Rockets will look to do just so here in the near future. All right, fans, the next coach on our list is Coach Earl Watson. He's a young, studious coach that was tasked with a rebuild in Phoenix at one point in time. His record is 33 wins and 85 losses. He has 3 years experience. He was actually the first coach to really start a rookie Devin Booker, and he believed in Devin Booker, and Devin Booker really credit a lot of his success in the league to Coach Earl Watson. He is a developmental type coach that really have a meek but strong presence as well. He's strong and studious, and he is known as a bright mind in his game. So I think he will be getting a hard look soon, and maybe the Rockets will look to give him a chance. His philosophy is defense is on ball pressure and is a switchable. His offense is the motion offense, and his coach tree is the Greg Popovich coach tree. So all the fans clamoring for a motion offense look no further than Coach Earl Watson. He's got all the acumen and the knowledge to implement a good motion offensive system here with the Rockets. So I think he will probably get a hard look soon. All right, Rockets fans, the next guy on the list is Coach David Fizdale. Coach David Fizdale was a previous coach in Memphis and New York. He compiled a record of 82 and 145, and it's been a lot of controversy around why he got let go and should he have been let go. He was fairly successful. Looked like he had the Knicks and everybody going in the right way until it just imploded. But Coach Fizdale is a bright mind. He's well respected. He's a fiery coach. He's no nonsense. He'll get in your face. He let it be known. He hold guys accountable, and I think he will be a nice fit. If he's not on the head coaching spot, maybe even on the roster in some type of form or fashion. His defensive philosophy is man zone hybrid. His offense is 1 in 4 out system. And he really thrived in that system with Zach Randolph and the guys back in Memphis. Those guys was bullies down there. So, and they played hard-nosed defense. He's come from the Lionel Hollins coach tree. So I think it's about time maybe he start getting a look, and maybe he is on the short list of future Houston Rockets coaches. We will see. The next guy we got up is Coach Kenny Atkinson. Right now, he's on the Warriors bench behind Coach Steve Kerr. And as we know, Coach Atkinson is known for his rebuild that he put together in Brooklyn. Looked like he was really getting them guys together and going on the right page until KD and Kyrie came over and demanded otherwise and got him up out of there and overturned the roster and traded everybody. But as we know, Coach Atkinson, over in Brooklyn, his record is 134 wins to 200 losses. He actually got 9 years experience, which is crazy. I looked at his resume, and he got like 2 or 3 seasons where he coached like 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, like as filler roles, but they gave it to him. It's on his resume, so he got 9 years experience. And like if you look at it, he's a fiery coach. He can go from 0 to 100 real quick. And he will let it be known if guys are messing up. We seen the progress he made in Brooklyn before the whole debacle, and everybody had to leave, and he eventually was shown his way to the door. But if we looking at Coach Atkinson's philosophy, his defense is man-to-man and switchable. His offense is high screens and pin down screens, and he also comes from the Coach Greg Popovich tree, as long as Steve Kerr. So he has a Warriors background, champion background, and a San Antonio Spurs champion background. So I think the Rockets will be doing their due diligence and making calls to see if Coach Kenny Atkinson is available. Moving right along to Coach Quinn Snyder. Now, if I had my pick, I think Coach Snyder would probably be my pick in the long run, because if you look at it, he had 8 years experiences with the Utah Jazz, and I think he only missed the playoffs maybe twice. So his record is 372 wins to 264 losses. His playoff record is 21 and 30. He just had the unfortunate opportunity to go up against us, our own Rockets, and James Harden peak James Harden at his max. So Coach Quinn Snyder is a no-nonsense coach. He's brilliant offensively and defensively. He get guys in place. He get guys in motion. He's passionate. He commands the locker room. He is a no-nonsense coach as well. He got a very militant type background, and it don't hurt that he looks like a villain from the James Bond movie or something. So he's going to command respect just off of his looks alone. So these young guys should not probably want to try Coach Quinn Snyder. And if we're looking at Coach Quinn Snyder's philosophy, his defense is man-to-man, and he like to switch it as well. His offense is high screen and pin down screens as well, with some motion offense mixed into it. He comes from an old school tree, George Karl and that type of regimen, but he's more of an innovator and a thinker, known for basically his whole offensive and defensive regimen. He really got the systems and he put them in place, and he was very, very successful with the Utah Jazz. Now, the number one coach that surprised me and might surprise you, that is the most qualified coach to take over the Rockets rebuild presently, no strings attached, can get him right now, is, yes, the one and only Frank Vogel. Yes, Coach Frank Vogel. We know in Indianapolis he was kind of tasked with a rebuild. He built that team up. They drafted well. They ended up being like one of the top defenses in the league for like 4 years. They was one of the few teams that really gave LeBron fits back in the day when LeBron was just running through the whole Eastern Conference with Cleveland. He ended up following LeBron to the LA Lakers, winning him a championship. And I know a lot of people was like, that was the bubble, and he had LeBron and AD. But if you remember, he was key because he was dead set on starting DeAndre Jordan for a while, but then he ended up sitting DeAndre Jordan. He ended up letting JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard finish off a lot of those seasons, and they was key in guarding Jokic and Nurkic and those guys later in the playoffs. So he do have a acumen. He do have a 431 win to 389 record losses. So his playoff regimen, he's won more than he's lost. He's 49-39 with 11 years of experience, and he has the championship to boot. So Frank Vogel, yes, Frank Vogel. You heard it here first on the Chop Shop. Frank Vogel should be the number one consideration as far as qualification-wise as coaches that's available to come in and fill in for a rebuild in Stephen Silas. Now, let me know, am I crazy? Are the numbers crazy? There's no way in hell. Should I just stop it with the nonsense? Is it cap? Let me know, because Frank Vogel is the most qualified coach on the market right now. Let me know in the comments. Appreciate everybody for joining us over here at the Chop Shop for another great episode. And this is an interesting topic. This surprised me, knocked my socks off. But if I'm looking at it with a clear eye view, Frank Vogel probably could be the man over here for the Houston Rockets. Let me know. Let's go, Rockets. I'ma holla at you. CSG.